Have you ever wondered why everything has changed so strangely since 2020? Why housing prices in New York went from $300,000 to $800,000 in just 4 years? Why you're working harder than ever but still feel poorer? Why billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos got hundreds of billions richer while millions lost their jobs? Listen, I'm going to be straight with you. Everything that's happening isn't random. It's not because of the pandemic, not because of natural inflation, and certainly not because of natural disasters. This is a plan designed decades ago. Its name is the Great Reset, the Global Great Reset. Their slogan, by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? But when you understand the real meaning behind this statement, you'll be terrified. Today, I will expose this entire plan, who's behind it, what they want, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself and your family from this revolution. After reading this article, you'll understand why what's happening in the world isn't chaos, but order. A new order designed to serve a very small group of people, while the rest of us become what they call human assets. Before diving into the plan details, we need to know who's behind this Great Reset. Do you know the World Economic Forum? It's the organization that hosts the annual Davos conference, where billionaires, politicians, and CEOs of the world's largest corporations meet. The founder and current chairman of WEF is Klaus Schwab, an 84-year-old German. In 2020, right during the pandemic, he published the book The Great Reset and declared, "This pandemic represents a rare window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world." But Klaus Schwab is just the front. Behind him is a massive power network. BlackRock and Vanguard, these two shadow rulers, own shares in most major corporations worldwide. BlackRock manages over $10 trillion. Vanguard manages about $8 trillion. They are major shareholders of Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, major banks, and even pharmaceutical companies. Do you see the connection? Who owns the media? Who owns technology? Who owns finance? Who owns healthcare? Everything leads back to the same group of people. Most frightening is that WEF has trained thousands of political leaders worldwide through the Young Global Leaders program. Justin Trudeau in Canada, Emmanuel Macron in France, Pete Buttigieg and Tulsi Gabbard in the US, and hundreds of other politicians are all Klaus Schwab's students. They don't hide this. On WEF's website, you can see the complete list of people trained to implement the Great Reset plan. The truth is, this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is a plan announced widely, with books, websites, videos, and conferences. They don't hide it. They simply hope you're too busy to pay attention. Now, let's analyze this plan in detail. WEF divides the Great Reset into 4 main pillars, and the first pillar is Build Back Better. Do you recognize this slogan? Build Back Better has been used by Joe Biden, Gavin Newsom, and dozens of other leaders across America. Coincidence? The core idea is to use crises like pandemics, climate change, and wars to destroy the old system and build a new, better system. Of course, according to their definition. What's actually happening is small businesses going bankrupt en masse, especially during the pandemic, large corporations expanding market share, government increasing economic intervention, and uncontrolled money printing leading to inflation. The second pillar is stakeholder capitalism. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Instead of just serving shareholders, companies will serve all stakeholders, including employees, customers, community, and environment. The hidden truth is, this is how private corporations become political tools. Instead of focusing on profit and serving customers, CEOs now must follow social agendas set by WEF and international organizations. You see what major companies are doing, right? ESG, DEI, carbon credits, all are control tools. The third pillar is Fourth Industrial Revolution. This is the most important pillar. They want to merge humans with machines through AI and automation to replace human labor with robots and AI, create mass unemployment, force humans to depend on universal basic income. Internet of Things will connect every device to the internet, monitor 24/7 all human activities, turning smart cities into surveillance cities. Biotechnology will edit human genes, implant chips under skin, create augmented humans. Klaus Schwab said clearly, the fourth revolution will not only change how we work, but also change who we are as humans. The final pillar is global governance, with the ultimate goal of a single world government. Implementation steps include using global crises like pandemics, climate, economics to justify global solutions, transferring power to international organizations like WHO, UN, IMF, World Bank, gradually reducing national sovereignty, and creating global laws applicable to everyone. Now let's analyze the most frightening slogan of the Great Reset: you will own nothing and be happy. The plan to eliminate private property rights starts with real estate. Instead of owning homes, you'll rent from large corporations. BlackRock has bought hundreds of thousands of homes in America at prices 20 to 50% above market value. In major U.S. cities like Los Angeles, Austin, and Phoenix, we're seeing similar trends with long-term rental projects. Transportation is the same. Instead of owning cars, you'll use mobility as a service through Uber, Lyft, electric car sharing. Everything points toward you no longer owning personal vehicles. Goods and devices also follow the sharing economy. Instead of buying, you'll rent everything from clothes and electronics to household items. Digital currency and financial control are their most powerful tools. Central bank digital currency will replace paper money. Instead, it's digital currency issued by central banks. They'll know exactly what you buy, where, when, and more importantly, they can turn off your money anytime. Social credit score, like in China, will rate all your behaviors. Say something wrong, join protests, don't get vaccinated. Your score drops and you can't buy plane tickets, get loans, or even buy food. How do they make you happy when you own nothing? Virtual reality and metaverse will replace real-world experiences. Mark Zuckerberg changed Facebook's name to Meta, not because he likes technology. It's part of the plan. Universal basic income will give you just enough money to get by without working, without trying, without goals. Just obey and comply. Drugs and entertainment include cannabis legalization, opioid painkillers, antidepressants, 24/7 entertainment to keep you happy and non-rebellious. The reality is, this isn't happiness. It's slavery with a smiling face. Some will say America is a free country. We won't be affected. Really? The signs have already appeared clearly. America is rapidly pushing digitalization. Digital IDs, social security digitization, digital wallets, cashless payments, all aimed at tracking and controlling citizens' transactions. New York, San Francisco, Seattle all have plans to build smart cities, and smart cities are surveillance cities. American banks are adopting ESG and green finance standards. Businesses that aren't green will struggle to get loans. And who decides green standards? International organizations. America is increasingly dependent on multinational corporations. They don't just bring technology, but also bring the values and standards of the Great Reset. The economic and social impacts are very clear. Housing prices in America rising uncontrollably isn't due to natural supply and demand, but because money printed from loose monetary policies under international pressure has created massive bubbles. Automation will replace millions of American workers in the next 10 years, but there's no clear plan to retrain or create new jobs. Global values are penetrating education, media, and entertainment. Young Americans are gradually distancing from traditional values and being guided according to globalist standards. So why might the Great Reset fail? Human nature is born to be free, to create, to own. You can't reprogram this instinct no matter how advanced the technology. The anti-globalist movement is rising worldwide. Brexit, Trump, right-wing parties in Europe, the MAGA movement, all reflect people's resistance. Large corporations also compete with each other. China has its own plan. Russia doesn't cooperate. There's no global unity as they imagine. Bitcoin, blockchain, open source AI, technology can be used to fight control as well as to control. But it could also succeed because each crisis like pandemics, wars, economic recessions makes people willing to sacrifice freedom for security. They own mainstream media, social networks, education systems, so most people know nothing about the Great Reset. Young generations are used to sharing everything online and less value privacy and individual freedom. Whoever controls currency controls everything, and CBDC, along with the global financial system, is their most powerful weapon. So what must we do? Sit there and accept fate? Of course not. To protect assets, you need to create hard-to-control assets like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but must understand risks, real gold and silver, not paper certificates, agricultural land, especially in rural areas, and practical skills like farming, crafts, repairs. Reduce system dependence by growing your own food, even if just vegetables, learning basic survival skills, creating local community networks, and using banking services as little as possible. To protect information, limit personal information on social media. Use cash instead of cards when possible. Don't participate in unnecessary loyalty programs. Seek multidimensional information by reading multiple sources, not just mainstream media. Learning foreign languages to access international information, and developing critical thinking. Prepare mentally by accepting the reality that the world is changing. You can't stop the Great Reset, but you can prepare for it. Create personal meaning instead of letting them define happiness for you. Create your own life's meaning. And most importantly, educate children to understand history, understand human nature, and not easily believe in free. Now you understand the Great Reset isn't a conspiracy theory, but a real plan implemented publicly by the world's most powerful people. They want absolute control, turning 99% of the population into happy slaves, serving the 1% elite. They're using crises to destroy the old system and build a new world order. You can wake up, prepare, and not surrender. Remember, history always has dark periods, but humans always find ways to overcome. The strongest dictatorial regimes also collapse when people wake up. The Great Reset will not succeed if we don't let it succeed. We don't have much time left. The battle determining humanity's future has begun, and the main battlefield is each person's mind. The only remaining question is, which side will you stand on?